Okay. So why do you see men sticking it out in relationships and women not in your field?
Oh yeah. The number one central reason is the elevation or centralization around happiness.
Okay.
Men will stay in undesirous marriages and relationships for a whole host of reasons. It could be because of that's what he's used to, for the sake of the kids, for the sake of finances, for the sake of his name and his brand and his legacy and a whole host of things. Even when he's not getting sex. Whereas on the flip side, person after person after person that I talk to, uh, women are kind of being reinforced this thing that the most important thing is your happiness. And I've asked women flat out, if you had to choose between your own happiness or the happiness of your family, 9 out of 10 times they're choosing their own happiness. So that's what I think is, believe it or not, the answer. It's they have a higher elevated view of the importance of happiness than oftentimes their male counterparts. Because if men prioritize happiness, how about this? If men reacted to women the way that women react to their channeling and responding to their happiness and to men cheating, if men responded and had the same expectations with women in regards to sexual fidelity in a relationship, you've made this man commit to you and made sure that he's to be sexually exclusive and monogamous with you. And you've said if you're going to get sex, it's going to be through me as your wife or girlfriend. And when you opt and choose for weeks, months, years to not offer this man sex when he can supposed to only get it from you, you're being as unfaithful as he is when he cheats. It's just that he'll oftentimes still stay and endure it, and you'll leave when he's unfaithful. So men are not prioritizing their happiness, and that's why they're being left when they could be unhappy the whole time as well and will choose and opt to stay versus their female counterparts. So I think it's centralizing happiness, honestly.
I'm pro more men divorcing.
Oh,
I think it would be a better place if more men put their happiness first.
I would agree with you if we put that up front instead of after the marriage has started and kids are involved. I actually would prefer that if you're going to move like women and prioritize your happiness over your kids' happiness, over the stability of the home, over all these other things, if you're going to start moving like that, if you're going to start thinking like that, I would much rather you move and think like that, not being married. Because because again, if you do that, it doesn't matter if you initiate it. How does the family court see you?
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so that's the thing.
But an unhappy woman will just destroy the kids anyway.
She'll destroy him if he initiates too. So my perspective is, if as a man, if you're going to move that way and try to match her energy, and if you think you're going to move in that approach, first of all, don't get married. And then number two, I would highly, highly, highly suggest that you figure out a way to decrease her propensity for being stuck on. And so, for instance, we do this to ourselves. I did this. We start the process off wrong when we elevate these women above our purpose. Mm-hmm. So when you elevate women above your purpose and you put her on a pedestal, she believes she and her happiness is always central and the most high ideal of what we need to work towards. Happy wife, happy life, that concept. So when you've started off the dating and marriage component with her and her happiness being the most important thing in this relationship, you're now just getting the consequences of something you set up from the beginning. So if you sense her as a woman, it has to be her way. It's always what she wants. It's always going to. The last thing you better do is give that woman kids or a ring. So when you see when a grown woman starts referring to herself as a princess, run. When a grown woman is idolizing all these famous celebrity women, run. When a grown woman is saying and constantly comparing what she's doing in her relationship with you with what she's seeing with her friends and on social media, run. Because she's elevating happiness as the highest ideal and not commitment, not longevity, not her oath. It is her happiness. I'm going to say something, and I know I'm going to get killed for this, and I'm just starting with podcasting. Women are not loyal to you as a man. Women are loyal to their feelings. And if their feelings are positive about you, she'll be positive towards you. But if her feelings are negative towards you, she will not be loyal to you. So if you look at it through that lens, the woman who has an elevated view of her feelings and emotions and her happiness, she'll never be loyal to you. She never was. She was loyal to her feelings about you. Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes perfect sense. Whenever we say anything, I just add like right now. You know, I love you right now. I think this right now. So, yeah, no, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
What do you think about the married men are happier stat? Do you think that is true? Conservatives always cite that married men are happier. I personally think that their wives are sitting next to them, so they got.
Oh, no. I don't believe any of these stats when it comes to happiness scales.
Okay.
And part of the reason is because there's too many variables that are not being included. These are oftentimes simple yes or no questions that's a little bit more complicated than I think we want to acknowledge and realize. So, for instance, all these women that are claiming to be happy when they are single, I'm like, well, at the same time, I'm seeing all this data that's saying the highest level of diagnoses for anxiety and depression is in this population. The highest level of prescription antipsychotics and antidepressants is in this same population. And they have the high student loan debt. They're leading the lead in consumer spending. They have these mortgages that they're trying to shoulder by themselves. And yet they the happiest people on the planet. That's not adding up to me. So that's why I like these stats, this data about who's the happiest and all that. If anything, I think all of these things are a lie, because it's convincing women you are your happiest when you're by yourself in perpetuity, and men are their happiest when they put themselves in marriages, especially in the West. And I'm like, who's pushing these articles? Who's pushing these studies that's telling men to keep getting married and telling women you're your happiest when you're single? And I'm like, I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
And plus, pulling women on happiness, it's like one day we're happy, one day we're not. You know, it's like, what day did you take the study?
Literal neuroticism is more expressed in. So sorry for the fans and everybody watching. Neuroticism is the wide range of expression of emotions and feelings. Women seem to display more emotions, good and bad, both extremes, in the female population in comparison to men or males. So, like you said, day in and day out, it depends on the day. It depends on the day. So I'm like, no. I don't buy it. Don't buy it.
Women cope with not being happy with student loan debt, consumer spending, alcoholism. So why do you think that is?
Two of those, you said consumer debt, student loan debt, and alcoholism?
Yeah.
Because these are three easy things that they have very easy control over. Like for instance, it's extremely difficult to really put anything else in those areas that can't continue to sustain the lifestyle that they're trying to live. So for instance, when I'm alone, when I don't have much going on, I can always fall back on my degree. I can always fall back on my job. I could always fall back on the things that kind of help self-soothe me to make me feel like, because what it's doing is reinforcing my ability to be able to still live the lifestyle I want, even if there's some drawbacks to it. So, for instance, if in this most recent administration, as DEI and other things have kind of happened, you're seeing a kind of change in tone with certain populations within the female population, because a lot of them started getting layoffs. Mm-hmm. Now that whole I can cope with my job thing, or I don't need a man thing, we're not hearing that as much as we was hearing in November. So a lot of times it's because you have it and you can do it, and it can allow you to still live the lifestyle that you want. But if that job gets lost, if that field gets standardized by AI, all of a sudden you looking back at the other half that you said you didn't need. So because they have it, that's why they use it.
Yeah, I agree.